Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Time to take you around the world of sport. Right now, Chelsea and Lampard, of course, they've reached agreement concerning him being the interim manager of that club. Well, what a way to go there. Let's start with the NWFL, Nigerian football. That is for women. NWFL Delta Queens qualify for Super 6 as Ibom Angels relegate in that particular competition there. Well, NWFL, as it went down just yesterday, matches were played. Delta Queens did well. Right now, they've qualified for Super 6, and you have Ibom Angels relegating there. Well, let's look at the result from Group A and also Group B. Quickly, let's look at how the matches were played. Bayelsa Queens defeated Royal Queens in that particular encounter there. 1-0, Sebastian Flory scoring there. And you have Delta Queens 3-0 against Oshun Babes, Chinaza Argo, Omoko Messi scoring 2 goals, making it 3-0 in favor of Delta Queens, who are right now, they've qualified for the Super 6 in this competition. Nigeria Tales of Abuja lost against Rivers Angels. Oka Adaobi scored for Rivers Angels in that particular game. They are a good one for Rivers, Delta, and Bayelsa Queens for winning their games in the match day 12 of NWFL Nigerian Women Football League. And right now, let's look at the table of the Group A. Delta Queens are top there with 24 points, and right now they've qualified for the Super 6. You have Bayelsa Queens, they have 19 points. Rivers Angels are right now standing third with 16 points. Nigeria Tales are fourth with 14. Heartland Queens, they have 9 points. Royal Queens are actually standing 6th, and while Oshun Babes are down the log there with 7 points. Well, it's a big one there for Oshun Bay, because right now it seems their fate is already known when it comes to the women football for this season. Let's look at Group B. Matches were also played, and it was a big one for FC Robo Queen as they won 7-1 against Ibom Angels. That particular big loss for Ibom Angels right now has gotten them relegated. You have Abia Angels, they lost at home against Conference Queen 2-1. Emenike Chineye and Peter Mata scoring for Conference Queens. Ibe Imesoma pulling one back for Abia Angels. Adamawa Queens 1, Edo Queens 1. They share the spoil there. Samuel Yemisi and Moses Fakinken actually scoring those goals for those two clubs. FC Robo Queens 7-1. You have Adebayo, Ladipo, Shobowale, Ijamilusi, and Ajakaye all scoring for FC Robo Queens of Lagos as they wallop Ibom Angels 7-1. Afensimi Ormond pulled one back for Ibom Angels, but that didn't save the team, as right now they are out of this particular league. Let's look at how the table is standing right now in Group B. Conference Queens are top there. They have 20 points, followed by FC Robo Queens 19. Edo Queens are standing third with 19 points. And you have Nasarawa Amazon on 4th position. Abia Angels, Adamawa Queens, and Ibom Angels with just 6 points. From the way it is, the deal has been done for Ibom Angels. They are really out of the league for this for next season. They won't be participating because right now it has been confirmed that Ibom Angels are out of the NWFL. Well, we have to link Ahmad Emmanuel will be joining us from Lokoja to give us his own side of the activities in the world of sport. Well, while we are waiting for Ahmad Emmanuel, we quickly look at, as we're talking about the NWFL women, right now, Delta Queens are really doing well. You look at Conference Queens, Edo Queens are also doing well in their own group. The NWFL match day 12, as it went across different stadia in Nigeria, of just 4 yesterday. But good one for, that's FC Robo Queens for being able to win that game 7-1 against Ibom Angels. A fantastic performance for the squad from Lagos. They really did well, showcasing their talent against Ibom Angels. Now, when it comes to football for women, you look at another group of Nigeria. This is Super Falcons now. They are right now in Antalya, Turkey, preparing for the friendly. They'll be playing against the likes of Haiti and New Zealand. And right now, the vibes over there in the camp is really very high. The players are happy and they are very confident that they can do this particular deal, this business, where they'll be able to play well, at least ahead of the World Cup that will be starting in July. They're using these friendlies to fine-tune the team. Coach Randy Wardrum is really working hard to see how he can get the best out of our ladies. Super Falcons are battle ready. They'll be facing Canada, Ireland, and also Australia in their own group at the World Cup. But from the way it is, the Falcons are really prepared ahead of these friendlies. They've been talking and they really want to do well. Right now we have Ahmad Emmanuel. Let's have you, Ahmad. The match between FC Robo Queens of Lagos and Ibom Angels ending 7-1 in favor of the Lagos Queens, and they were able to wallop Ibom Angels. They're relegating them, while Delta Queens also qualify, becoming the first team to qualify for the Super 6. How do you see these games for the women?
Beautiful morning to you. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so sorry for the Angels from Akwa Ibom State. FC Robo Queens compounding the woes, hammering them by 7, good goals. And trust me, it was no surprise when I saw that scoreline. And of course, that actually confirmed the relegation as at yesterday, being Wednesday, where all of the match day 12 fixtures went down across various centers in the country. The Lagos Ladies proved that they are a very, very good force to reckon with when it comes to women football in Nigeria. I remember watching them play against Conference Queens FC in Lokoja, and it took a very extra performance from the Lokoja Ladies to conquer them. A late penalty awarded, and of course, well converted by Chukwuamaka Isigwe on that very good day. Of course, women football, if you ask me, I must say, has really given us something which it shows that if we continue with this trend, we're surely going to get it right at the national level, because it's giving me more extra joy and motivation that the league is of standard as it is right now. We've seen teams going on the road, taking results from, other teams' back yet, and nothing happened, It tells you that the quality is there. And administratively, I must say, I think something is really working fine as far as female football is concerned in the country. Yesterday in Lagos was goals galore, trust me. But then another good one that came as far as, yesterday's fixture is concerned was the match involving, of course, Abia Rangers and Conference Queens FC of Lokoja. Conference Queens earlier played against Adamawa Queens at the Lokoja Stadium, or Conference Stadium, I should say, and it ended in a barren draw. A lot of soccer lovers in Kogi State at that day, I was there myself, were disappointed, because they were hoping to at least get something positive and, brighten the chances of making the Super 6, But I think the coach knows exactly what he's doing. Talking about White Obunda, he's one of the respected female football coaches in the country that I know surely knows exactly what he's doing. He went back to the drawing board, put the girls together, motivated them, boosted the morale. They went all the way to Abia State, not minding the long journey, and they had a very, very good game. And they deservedly took 3 points at the expense of Abia Rangers yesterday. So by and large, if you ask me, from the look of things right now, well, for Delta Queens, it is looking very, very promising. In fact, it's done and dusted already. Talking about the Super 6 ticket, they already have it in the pocket. So we're now going to see who is going to join them as the remaining fixtures will be concluded. But again, Conference Queens also really don't need to go to sleep. They shouldn't allow complacency to play out, because it's still very more looking tight, if you ask me, between them, FC Robo, and of course Edo Queens of Edo State. But by and large, I think it's been a very, very good one. So far, so good as far as the NWFL Premiership is concerned.
Well, that's Ahmad Emmanuel there. But really, you're from the Conference State. How are you feeling about the Conference Queens right now, topping their Group B?
I feel super excited, I must tell you. I cannot hide that feeling. I feel so excited, really. So you see, when the season started, a couple of players left, due to one or two, welfare issues, But I think the management went back, wrote some proposals, and thankfully, I think the state governor, under the leadership of His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Dozabelo, looked into it and quickly responded swiftly, increasing and double the salary of the players. And I must say, is one of the most motivating factors that has actually kept these girls going. It tells you that if we do the needful, we'll surely get the result. Imagine, some of these girls playing, with empty stomachs. And at the end of the day, we want them to give you positive results. No, it doesn't work that way. So I think this is a very, very good motivating factor. And we urge the administrators to build on it so that we can get it right, across all board. Not only in football, we can talk about other sports as well. We need to motivate the athletes, and surely they will give you a result. That's exactly what you can see right now in Conference Queens FC.
Well, Conference Queens right now being celebrated their relay. They've surprised everyone this season going to Abia, and they were able to win that game 2-1. Congrats to them. And right now for Delta Queens qualifying for Super 6, and you have Ibom Angels relegating from NWFL. Well, we've been talking concerning women football in Nigeria. Now we'll take on the Super Falcons. They'll be playing the friendly, rather 2 matches in the friendly. They are in Attaya, Turkey. And you have the ladies are really happy for the fact that positive vibes have been seen at the camp. Confidence in all the players arriving from different locations across the world. And from the way it is, our ladies are ready. Yamad Emmanuel, this is a fighting matches for Super Falcons before they go for the World Cup in Australia, New Zealand. That will be in July. But right now, the ladies are battle ready. They've been talking that they are happy and they are really having good vibes ahead of these friendlies.
Yes, if I must put it straight, I think I'm one of the critics of Farandi Wanderer. This time around, I want him to prove me and probably all the people in like minds wrong, to give us something convincing. It's not about just going to play football and then possibly get slim result or maybe beating your opponent, and then at the end of the day we celebrate. Give us something to believe that even when we are losing, we are playing beautiful football. We are giving the best to the world. Super Falcons undoubtedly are the force in Africa. But then at the world level, we want to really have a say. We want to make a statement. And probably that's more one of the reasons, Randy was brought in to change the story, the narratives. But right now, we've not seen something really positive, something massive, something that really deserves, I mean, I don't want us to make the same mistake we made with the Super Eagles when the likes of JJ, Nwanko, and the likes were fading off, and we refused or failed to get proper replacement for them. We just talk about the NWFL right now. What are we doing to get a bunch of these, home-based players to, move them into the national team, get some very good coaches to develop them, and not until a player moves to abroad, then before you start inviting them to the national team. I think the Super Falcons is taking similar trend right now, and it is not good for us. Let's encourage those, footballers apply their trade home here, and then we'll get some very good coaches to work on them, inject them into the national team. You surely get results. So by and large, the camp is bubbling, yes. Desire Paranoze is also back with the team, yes. And a lot of people have been talking, yes. But then, does it end there? No. I want to see what they will do in these friendlies, and then we will now have our own assessment as we count down to the World Cup proper. But again, I'm not too convincing with the technical crew led by Randy. I must tell you this.
I'm not convinced by Randy Wadlon's performance and also his selection. But from the way you are seeing the Super Falcons, do you think the players themselves are ready?
Yes, I think they are. Psychologically, from the feelers we're getting from the camp, they sure really are ready. The media officer spoke to me a couple of days ago, and she made it clear that everything is fine. She probably, of course, she's doing her job. I don't expect her to tell me something negative, but then just following the trend, I want to believe that the spirit in camp right now is really something positive. Of course, we also have some star players, even in Europe now, that are really making waves. One of those players is Assis Abishualat. A lot of people are, looking at. When you talk about Victor Osimhen with the Super Eagles, then you talk about Assis with the national team. But again, how well can we make use of these, talents? They should play as a team and not coming around to show individual skills. That surely will not help the team at all.
Okay, even though you said they should play as a team, I know the ladies seems to be so happy. Judging by the graphics we have there, that's the feed from their camp. They were in Attaya, Turkey, while they prepare for the friendly against the like of Haiti and New Zealand. But hopefully they will do well in this friendly to fight. Soon the team, the coach is really trying to see how he can better the lots of that particular squad before the Mundial. That'll be starting from July 20 over there in Australia and New Zealand. We wish our ladies all the best as they play this last group of friendlies they've been playing so far ahead of the World Cup. Let's go to the big one that happened yesterday. Manchester United They were able to win their game by a lone goal, a good one for them. And also Newcastle United adding more salt to the injury of David Moyes right now. West Ham United, they lost that game. For you look at Manchester United win by a lone goal, courtesy Rashford, and you look at West Ham against Newcastle United. What happened? That it seems Newcastle have really been able to add more problem or more woes to the that's West Ham United. Let's look at how the results went down just yesterday. Before we talk, looking at that particular, looking at this, Ahmad, that match for Manchester United, were you expecting just 1-0 or more goals?
Well, coming from just a defeat, 2-0 defeat in the hands of Newcastle United, you understand that United really need to do something quickly to bounce back. And yes, maybe the slim win, one will say we can blame it on the last defeat because it wasn't easy for them recovering. I'm very sure, Eric Ten Hag wasn't expecting the result against Newcastle United, but then it took him by surprise. But again, when you watch Newcastle, trust me, they are up for something. But again, the slim win for Man United, well, a lot of Man United fans will say, well, it's a win. Even if it's half goal, a win is a win and they have 3 points. A relief moment for, Eric Ten Hag and his boys. But again, the performance is questionable because at this stage, at this level, especially when they still have their one leg in the, UEFA Europa League, come on, they need to up their game. Well, again, a lot of people will say maybe some sort of injuries causing them, some low moment. But, well, I think a win is a win, and they will take it.
Well, from the way it is right now, if you look at how the table is standing there and the Premier League, really, Manchester United and Newcastle, they have a lot of battle to settle because they really are on themselves' neck there. You have Newcastle having 53 points, the same point with Manchester United. Both of them won their matches, rather. And you look at, it's really a big one now because they have an advantage in goal difference. Now, if you look at Brighton, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Brentford, Fulham in that pecking order. Now, if you look at it, Ahmad, Newcastle seems to be ready to take over the place of Manchester United in this season because they have the same point, and it has been happening for almost consistently now. They've been dragging with Man United for that top position, and it seems they are really ready to take it.
Definitely. Since the takeover by United Arab Emirates, firm, just like Manchester City, I think there's a very, very good program for Newcastle United to hit the ground running. But gradually they took it. A lot of people are not really taking them seriously. But right now they are proving bookmakers wrong that they are there to really compete on a more serious note. Right now they're sitting third on the log, advantage of some sort of goal difference against Manchester United. It tells you that if Man United is not really careful, something somehow funny might just happen, and they will kick them out of that position.
Well, looking at the way it is right now, Manchester United, Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur are all fighting to see who stayed top 4 alongside Arsenal and Manchester City. We've been looking at the EPL matches that were played just yesterday. Well, from that particular side of it, let's look at the biggest one that happened just yesterday, even though it's an El Clasico, Copa del Rey, Spanish Copa del Rey. There are big one that happened. Well, Hala Madrid for Madrid fans. Real Madrid routes Barcelona to reach Copa del Rey final. They'll be facing Osasuna in the next. That'll be final. That'll be coming up later. But for this particular match, no one saw that coming. The first leg ended 1-0 in favor of the Blood Runners. But the second leg that was played yesterday, really, they came out. Talking about the Los Blancos, 1, 2, 3, 4. What happened? Karim Benzema scoring a hat-trick back-to-back for himself. It seems really Benzema have really shown that he's a king when it comes to football. Anytime you want to write him off, he picks up the pieces and show that you can be a very old wine in a new bottle. Ahmad Emmanuel, that match between Real Madrid and Barcelona, what were you expecting before it turned out to be a rousing?
To be honest, I don't expect Barcelona to win that game, and I have my reasons. Real Madrid, when you watch, they've lost to Barca, I think 3 times in a row, and fresh from the 6-0 thrashing of Rayo Vallecano, I expect that to happen, but I wasn't expect numerous goals, like 4 goals against Barca, But again, it tells you that Carlo Ancelotti, the man in charge of Real Madrid, understand his job. If a team defeats you first, second, and third time, and is coming again, or that same team is coming again in fourth time, and they are still beating you, having edge over you, then the managerial, standard is subjected to, some sort of questionable, a moment. But again, like you rightly said, Karim Benzema, when you give him the chance, then he's going to punish you. Hat trick for him back to back. Well, I'm just scared what will happen when they face Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League. But before then, there's another tie in the La Liga Santander. But again, Barca will go back and say, well, it's won and lost, and they have to focus on the La Liga Santander. And for me, it looks so promising for them right now winning it. But again, Real Madrid remains a team, to beat anytime, any day. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday in the El Clasico. Super top-notch performance, even though Barca had the first half under their control, but they failed to take some chances that came their way. Maybe some sort of selfish play from Rafinha, and some sort of and up front, not really partnering with his strike partners in Lewandowski and the likes, and then that actually cost Barca. The second half, Real Madrid took over, and then they came out loud. Allow them to score one or two, then they'll continue scoring, just like Bayern Munich, and that's what happened yesterday.
Well, now, looking at this particular match, a player is actually standing out there. You can see him with his hair, Camavinga. Camavinga showed why he's really a player to watch. Fantastic performance from Camavinga, despite the fact that Vini Jr., Benzema got the chance to make all those goals, but Camavinga really showed that why he's very, very important for that club. A lot of football pundits have been actually praising him for his performance in that particular encounter. How would you rate Camavinga?
Absolutely outstanding talent to watch out for. He's just coming up young, and with such a very, very exceptional performance, especially in the game yesterday. Some of the games he has actually featured, he has proven to be a very, very good footballer. And if he continues this way, well, he's going to be among a set of generation of top-notch footballers to come. Give it to him. He is always something delight to watch, I must tell you. A superstar, super talent, if you ask me.
Vinga, now before we go to Chelsea's story, still talking about Real Madrid winning against Barcelona. I still remember a lot of Barcelona fans complaining about the injury, like the likes of Pedri. If he were to play or be in that game, that would have happened. Do you agree with that? Injury really made them to be depleted yesterday?
Well, I don't want to give or make excuses for Barca and their fans. It's football. They've played Real Madrid before now. And we also saw Real suffering or missing some players, due to injuries, and they won. That's why you have you register over how many players? 40, if I'm not mistaken. So when one is out, the other should be able to fit in and do the needful. So not an excuse. Even probably if the injured players, were in that game, what will happen will still happen, because I think Carlo Ancelotti actually went back and studied the previous matches and actually figure out the lapses, and then he made the correction yesterday. That's what happened, and that's how they got the result. So not an excuse at all. In fact, no excuse for Barca losing that game.
No excuse for Barca losing that game against Real Madrid. It ended that in favor of the Los Merengues. They did well winning that game, silencing them. At least someone actually joked that after all, Barcelona have been dealing with them. It's time for them to take their own pound of flesh, which they did. Amadi Emmanuel has been talking there concerning that. Let's talk about Chelsea. Yes, after the sack, or maybe according to all this departure of Graham Potter, it has become a news that they have been looking for manager for Chelsea, substantive manager, but interim manager right now has actually emerged. Talking about Frank Lampard accepting the deal to be the interim manager of Chelsea. He has reached agreement with them in principle to take over as interim manager at the end of the season. And I look at it, the remaining matches, what if Lampard wins all the remaining matches? What if he wins it? Do you think they will actually offer him full control of that squad?
Oh, big question mark, and we haven't really seen details of what both parties have reached. For Frank Lampard, I think he's been favored, one, because he's the club legendary. They love him, they respect him, they revere him, they really want him to be part of the team. Remember, I was there and then he got kicked out. I think under the former owner of the club, talking about Ibrahimovic, and then went to Everton. Everton did not have it good with Everton, and also he was sacked. And right now, for Chelsea to contact Lampard or probably try to bring him in till the end of the season. And I know a lot of Chelsea fans are disappointed. A lot of soccer pundits are really cool with this decision as well, including my very self, because when I saw it, I was like, what's going on? But again, there's a condition there. He should end the season with them. What if he continues with what Graham Potter has been doing that led to the sack of Graham Potter? What if maybe at the end of the season, he did not really, make any positive impact and dump Chelsea where they don't really want to belong? What will happen then? Who is going to be blamed? So these are questions that, is really running through a lot of people's psyche, including myself, and it's more of a gambling for me, if you ask me. We understand there are some top managers who they've listed or tipped to come in. Enrique, one of them, Guignan Nagelsmann, the former Bayern Munich man, one of them, probably the favorite. But again, Lampard, well, your question is, what if he probably decide or probably do well to win the remaining matches? Well, a lot of people start shouting, allow Lampard to continue. But don't forget the case of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with Manchester United. He came in the same fashion, and then he did pretty well. But when they gave him total control, you know what happened? So it's gambling for me. Even if Lampard did well, or probably come in and do well to the end of the season, they should just allow him to go on a more expected note and bring in an expert, somebody more experienced than him. And then Chelsea can now say, well, we're back.
Chelsea can say they are back. They are Mad Emmanuel. I want to appreciate your time with us. So, local, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me once again.
That's 360 Sports for you there, talking about Lampard. From the way it is, everything is set for him to take over as interim manager of Chelsea to the end of the season, and then we'll see what happens concerning that particular club, the Blues. Well, I'm Adeni Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.